Okay, welcome to week 2. Hopefully you made it through week 1 all right and are ready to move on to our next area under Module 1, and that is going to be the 5 pillars of reading, instructioning, and spelling development. So as we talked about in week 1, the emergent literacy develop, we're going to get more into development. We're going to get more into the 5 pillars of reading instruction that are talked about quite often. As you will find out when you look through this week, it is a pretty heavy week. So I really want you to think about focusing on the first parts of the week and leaving comprehension and vocabulary as something that you realize will spill into week 3. Your Tegrity response assessment will be due at the end of week 3, and I'll show you a preview to that. But it does all fall under this category of the 5 pillars, so I really wanted to have it included in week 2, but because it's such a heavy week, I wanted to make sure that you knew that part of the week could spill into week 3. So, all 5 areas are really important. I want you to be cautious that even though the 5 areas that are talked about in the National Reading Panel Report and through literature throughout the literacy community will say they're important, they're not the only things that are important. And as we get on through the course, we're going to talk about motivation and engagement, which is another piece of a literate environment that is necessary. So just keep that in mind. So the objectives for this course, for this week of the course, are here. So you're going to be able to identify spelling stages, evaluate how phonics, word recognition, and orthographic spelling are prerequisites to development of reading fluency. You're going to identify instructional strategies for those areas, and then also apply and integrate vocabulary, listening, and text comprehension to the reading process. And again, this last standard here, objective, learning objective, this one is, again, going to spill into week 3 just for time purposes. Your textbook readings are out of your ebook by Dr. Flynn, and also through the Continuum of Literacy Learning, you're going to be looking at phonics, spelling, and word study, and thinking within, beyond, and about the text. And again, I outline how with those chapters, you'll want to read the first part of the chapter and then skim and scan through it as you go through the rest of that chapter. So I'd also like you to attend to the different strategic processing areas that are required to be in place for comprehension to really be understood. So that will be, if you click on this link here, that will show the wheel that's also in your Continuum of Literacy Learning. So you have a reading out of the National Reading Panel Report, and this is the areas that you're going to look at in that report: phonics, fluency, vocab instruction, and text comprehension instruction. Then you'll have some online resources that you're going to look at, and having to deal with fluency and spelling. Then we have a couple YouTube videos for you to watch here that also, again, focus within the 5 pillars. And we do have quite a few Tegrity sessions that you'll be looking at this week, and I don't have the times on all of them, but those will be there for you to watch. All of this leads up to your assessments for this week, which I'm going to go back to. So your assessments this week are a summary matrix and a concept presentation. This week 2 Tegrity session, this is an assignment preview because this is actually not due until week 3. So if I click on it, you'll notice that for week 3, you'll complete the viewing guides for the Tegrity sessions listed below. So while you're watching these videos, there is a viewing guide. And actually, I'm going to have to fix this. I think these might be different. So that's the Tegrity sessions that involve text comprehension and vocabulary that you're going to be completing them for. But again, that's a preview because it's not due until week 3. You can see right there. The 2 assignments that are due this week, the first is a summary matrix. And then this summary matrix that you're going to be creating is going to include each stage of spelling development according to how Dr. Flynn has outlined them. And then research-based strategies for teaching phonics and word identification at each stage. So you're going to need to do some research. You might need to do some research on your own. There's a lot of information in this part that you'll be able to pull for this, but if you want to dig deeper, you're certainly welcome to do that. And then your summary matrix can be completed using any kind of visual representation of your chewing. It could be a PowerPoint, a Prezi presentation, a Word document, a chart, however you want. I want to give you the option to explore some different ways of presenting material. And so however you choose to do that, as long as you include each of these areas within that and talk about the spelling development stages, that you'll be fine. So just make sure you include what's in the assignment and then pick whatever visual representation that you would choose. And by visual, it could be, again, a chart through a Word document of some sort, or again, a PowerPoint, Prezi, something that I've never heard of. I'm totally open to you exploring new options to present information. The second assessment for this week is your concept presentation. So you're going to develop presentation slides. So this would be, again, something like a PowerPoint or a Prezi, and you're going to incorporate the concepts you've learned about sight word recognition, phonics, and orthographic spelling patterns. And then, as they are prerequisites to the development of reading fluency, you're going to incorporate the findings from the NRP report on fluency in relationship to the behaviors of fluent and disfluent readers and the 6 dimensions of fluency, and possible research-based strategies that will help accelerate students' growth in these areas. You may again use a presentation software of your choice. I do want to encourage you to take the opportunity to explore presentation software that you might not be familiar with. And if you can figure out that through your iPad, that's a great way to do it as well. So this is due, again, Sunday of week 2. So that is week 2. We'll kind of go back here and look at, you're going to be really digging into those 5 areas, and the 2 assignments, just again, are the ones, the summary matrix and the concepts are the ones that you're going to want to be looking at completing for this week. That Tegrity session will be due week 3. All right. Thanks, and have a great week.